People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Yep, that'll do it. So, welcome back, everybody. Time for some ships and giggles. And this shot, I didn't expect that. We're gonna have some good stuff in this video, so I hope you enjoy pretty much all tier 10 stuff, because that's almost all I've been playing. I want to point this salvo out in particular because you cannot possibly get better dispersion than that. Look at that, oh my god. Better dispersion than that from a ship like the Tirpitz, or really, I mean, that would make a Colorado jealous, or, you know, anything that is known to be accurate, because that is just remarkable. And I've scored a few citadels against the Tirpitz in the Tirpitz lately, and one thing I've been absolutely savoring is moments like these. I despise the Moskva with a fiery passion, and to do 58,000 damage to one is just fantastic. The reason why I dislike it so much is because a lot of people run range mod on it, and it outranges the Tirpitz by a noticeable amount, and the Tirpitz just can't do anything back to it. So when I find one broadside like this, whatever the range may be, I do my best to knock him out. And I guess it's no wonder that 3 of my 4 most hated ships to play against, 3 of them are Russian. So we have the Kutuzov, which I didn't actually get around to recording anything there, but the Khabarovsk, oh yeah, and obviously the Moskva. So I'm really curious to see how the Khabarovsk gets played when it has that 5-second increase on its rudder shift, which is happening today, because we have the French cruisers going live today. We also have the inexplicable buff to the Tirpitz secondaries. That doesn't make any sense to me, and that is fantastic dispersion right along the length of the ship there. Can't expect any better than that. I just want to mention real fast, I had played with and against this player a few times in this session. I kind of expected him to do something like this once I saw that he was over here on his own, so I risked going broadside for this. I wouldn't normally do this, but again, it's a Moskva. I want it dead as fast as possible, and the Hindenburg AP is just glorious. Boom. 9 citadels and 2 salvos. Good night. Very, very happy about that one. But the Zhao as well, by the way, you're going to see some very good examples of the AP on this being monstrously powerful. And I'm going to be very, very stupid from time to time, and I'll point those out. But anyways, I don't really understand the buff to the Tirpitz secondaries. I don't think anybody ever asked for that, and the idea behind it is that you have 2 distinct different styles of close quarters combat. One, you have the Bismarck with the secondary advantage where it reaches out to 10.6 at max, and even without buffing it all that much, I mean, if you roll AFT, I mean, you're looking at 8.4 kilometers, and then anything on top of that, which is pretty substantial. So, you know, the Bismarck is a ship that you dread to chase because of the fact that those secondaries are going to keep you lighted up, you know, in terms of fires, and it's just an incredibly dangerous ship to chase, and it's an area denial weapon, because anything that gets within, you know, secondary range is definitely going to feel it, you know. But the Tirpitz had an area denial as well of around 8 kilometers, because if you started getting any closer than that, even though it has 6 kilometer torque range, you would really start to ramp up your risk. So the whole idea was just to stay further out than the torps could you know, ever be an issue. So now it seems like the idea would be, with the Tirpitz, roll your secondaries, you know, 9.3 kilometers or, you know, 10.6, whatever works best for you. Because I'm still thinking running the accuracy mod wouldn't be a bad idea, just sticking with the 10 or the 9.3 kilometer secondaries. But, you know, say you're getting chased, your secondaries are doing work, they're on fire, and they start to think about that disengagement, you know, thinking about pulling away, well, that's when you turn around, and you know they're obviously at the disadvantage there because they've already lost a ton of health and whatnot, and you throw your torps at them, before they can really get away from you. Meanwhile, I mean, the whole time you've got your secondaries still shooting at them, and having, like, my consensus, and I'm going to talk about this in just a second, my consensus as far as battleships are concerned is, and I think a lot of people will disagree with me on this, but I'll have to explain it eventually in a future video, is that the Friedrich, the Tier 9 German battleship, the way I had it set up, is the best brawler in the game. And the Tirpitz is unquestionably now the best brawler in the game. And I imagine that there's going to be so many more people playing this ship. And it's going to be kind of weird, but I think we're going to deal with Tirpitz, not to the same extent as when it was initially released a couple of years ago, but I think it's going to be a significant event. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, regardless, the French cruisers, they seem interesting. I know there have been some changes and buffs here and there, so kind of curious to see how they play. I'm going to be streaming today and definitely going to play a few of those, and I've been, like I said, this poor guy, one hit on the Z-23 detonation. Yikes. The French cruisers, I'm still not sold on the whole speed boost thing being a national flavor. I never really understood why that would be something you would be going for with the cruiser line, but again, I think the problem is dealing with the fact that consumables are deciding the national flavor as opposed to other aspects. I really wish we went back to the old normalization values, for the shells. Instead of it being tied to the caliber of the guns, it should be individually based for various ships, because then you could fine-tune balance as opposed to, do this and that. Like, okay, maybe the French cruisers are the way they are. They don't have that speed boost, but they have like a much higher normalization on their AP, or something of that nature. And the normalization means that how much, basically, say you're at a 60-degree angle, like your shells are coming in against the target, they hit at 60 degrees, but you have 2 degrees of normalization. Normalization's almost like not a handicap, but what's the other word for it? Like, it's a gimme. Like, they're giving you 2 extra degrees of penetration, or of normalization, so it's acting like it's actually hitting at a 58-degree angle. That actually means quite a bit, because the smaller the shells, the more dependent they are on the angle, because they can't dig in. They're just automatically going to bounce, or they're going to break up on impact. And so by having the normalization be tied back into individual ships, or maybe not necessarily individual ships, but groups of ships, such as cruisers and battleships and that sort, for the specific nations, they could possibly address some more of the balance issues that we're experiencing as it currently stands. But yeah, anyways, kind of talking about pretty much the same issues I've always been talking about. I mean, no surprise there. I don't really have an answer for you as to why I came back. I'm back. If that's good for you, great. If it's not, well, deal with it. Nothing more to say than that. But I've been losing most of my tier 10 games, actually, or just a little over 50%, and I don't really care. I'm just playing, and how to put it, I guess, like, I understand my win rate's not sustainable. I'm not gonna not try to win. I'm more interested in trying to enjoy the time. I mean, there's still gonna be salty moments, of course. I'm not gonna shy away from that. But at the same time, my mindset's, I feel like it's a little different. And I had an alternate account. I still have one, and was playing around with the German battleship grind there and was really enjoying that, especially the Koenig, which I think is the best battleship under tier 6. I'm very sad to say that today's patch will also reduce its accuracy a little bit, which I don't think is all that necessary. But I mean, it's a cruiser killer, but it just doesn't have the shells that make it terribly effective against other battleships. So, but the Zao though has ridiculously good AP. I think you've already seen that, and you're gonna see another example here pretty soon when we get to Okinawa. But I just played some of these matches tonight. I've been messing around with some different stuff. You know, a few of the, actually most of these matches I was running the concealment, you know, full concealment on the Zao. I think in this particular one, and the one you just saw on Hotspot, I was actually running the full rudder shift. So that feels really good, and it only boosts your concealment up to 10.8 from 9.7, and that's not that bad, really. But not even spotted. Managed to get a torp kill on the enemy Zao. I was using the radar as best as I could there, the mini-map, which I highly recommend. If you don't have it blown up all the way, blow it up. It's absolutely crucial to be able to see everything that you can possibly see. Get all the information you can from the mini-map. But look at this salvo. Zao AP. Boom! 14,100 damage. Like, damn, that is good. But, you know, the thing I like about the Zao, as far as being able to use that concealment, is when you're hunting destroyers in a situation like this, and I'm willingly taking the torpedo here because, I don't know, I just didn't really give a shit. You know, I knew I was gonna have to deal with torps one way or another. I was more concerned about the second set, not the first. But thankfully, he went ahead and he did a widespread with at least the first one. But anyways, I launched my own widespread into the smoke here, and then I'm waiting for him to fire. Fire again. There we go. And take a look at this. 10 shell hits for 11,000 damage. Not bad. Now, I wish I could always do that. I've had Minotaurs and Neptunes and the Coup d'Azobs manage to wreck me pretty bad while they're in the smoke, and you know, I'm trying to shoot them and figure out exactly where they're at. You'll see in the next video, Minotaur gets lit up pretty well by the curve first in there, but yeah, oh well. Some of these matches though, and nice delicious salvo there. Some of these matches that have been happening, I gotta say, steamrolls have been happening way more often than I remember, and it's to the point where, you know, if there's not, like, say you play 10 games, there's probably 2 to 3 steamrolls, you know, and whether or not they're against you, or, you know, again, you're on the steamroller or you're being steamrolled, well, that's kind of just the luck of the draw. I mean, I've had matches where my team got completely blanked. You know, 12 players on the enemy team are still alive and we don't have anybody. I've had matches over in, what was it? I had a loss that was in 5 minutes and 17 seconds or something like that. We just got completely dominated. Everyone just threw their ships away, and I ended up with like 364 base XP, which, holy shit, that's bad. And then the next match, you're riding the wave, and you know, it's a tier 10 match, and the highest base XP is like 1200, and nobody on your team has died, and there's still like 9 players left on the enemy team, and you know, nothing happened. It was just a few players died, and they never managed to focus a few targets down and, you know, get a few guys killed. It's just so weird how it's been happening like that so often. But, you know, I guess that's the name of the game as it currently stands, and, you know, I am enjoying it. I'm still having quite a bit of fun. I mean, there have been some really awesome moments on stream, and I played way too much, way too late. I'm certainly a night owl, but I'm gonna try to get back to doing some stuff during the day, and see me here trying to reset here against multiple ships on the cap. I am in smoke, but I want to try to hit the flank, and this worked out pretty damn well. And again, whenever I get the chance to engage a Moskva and he's got his broadside showing, I'm gonna do it. And I just, damn, I hate this shit. It's always bow forward. It's, yeah, I just never seem to be able to do any damage to it until I get into a situation like this, which, you know, another 30,000 damage, yes. And his turrets rotated ridiculously fast. I mean, he's got to be running turret mod there or something, I don't know, but either way, yay, got him killed. But I've been playing a lot of the Zal, and it feels really good to play. You know, the Hindenburg as well. I do more damage when less in the Hindenburg, which is weird, but you know, I use a ton of AP with that, and you know, battleships, whether they're bow forward or broadside, and I mean, there's nothing better than, you know, running the reload mod on the Hindenburg, so you have an 8.8 second reload and adrenaline rush, so you get down to like 7.2 when you're at low health, and you're just every 7 seconds you're just dumping these 14,000 damage salvos against the broadside of a Yamato, or you know, any other battleship really. It just, that those shells are fantastic. So I use them a lot, and I know a lot of people are asking, you know, why don't you just switch to HE? I'm like, I'm doing damage, man. You know, it feels good. But it also feels good to nuke cabs from a distance, or shimikazes, or gearings. And I'm telling you, man, when the Kerr first has those shells coalesce, I mean, you've seen it a few times already in this video, it's really hard to beat, and it's all about, obviously, luck. If an enemy strolls into your shells or keeps on the particular bearing to go into them, as well as your aim, and then the overriding, the determining factor is always dispersion. You know, it doesn't matter how good your aim is. If the shells go all over the damn place, then it doesn't matter, you know. So dispersion over skill always. But yeah, I generally am planning to do a few videos here. One's going to take a little while, one that I've wanted to do for a while, and enjoyed the Dev Strike Yamato. But one of them, though, is basically a line review. I want to do a couple of those for the probably the battleship lines. You know, cover the Germans first and foremost, and you know, since I didn't really complete that line in terms of reviews, but you know, probably break it up into 3 parts. You know, cover everything that's available as far as the premiums and obviously the tech tree ships, but I think that would be a good thing to do, and kind of give me a chance to get back into the review scenarios, and you know, do things like that as far as you know, enlightening people as to how I build ships and my mindset when I'm using them in that manner. But for those of you who have seen this, I hope you forgive me for using this particular set of clips again, but this was absolutely fucking hilarious, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. So I really wish I used HE, the previous salvo, to get rid of this Montana a little faster, and for some reason I was hoping that I would start a fire on the Montana, but I should have had my secondaries going for the Kiev, because I could have had the damn double strike here. And we got him with the rear turrets with HE, and so very close with the secondaries here. But unfortunately he decides to smoke up, and the time is just about past anyways to be able to get a double strike there. But just waiting for those torps to show up, because I know we launched them. And I switched over, of course, to the Montana on my secondaries, as you can see, but managed to split those. I don't know quite what the deal was with his torp spreads there, but shoot where I see his secondaries firing, because the Kiev does have, I think it has just one secondary on its top hull. So, but this is probably my favorite moment in a very, very long time, because my best salvo I've ever done, like in a single volley, was 71,000 or whatever. But this is 93,000. You cannot let a Kerr first get along your side like that, because 7 citadels, that is monstrous. And unfortunately, this guy, I mean, oh god, when I fired the B turret there, the dispersion was so bad. I could have definitely managed a couple more citadels there, but once my B turret gets knocked out by the Montana, I decided to just go for the ram. So myself and the other Yamato, we both got the Kraken in the situation. But yeah, I'm back, guys. It is what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. I'll try to do some more videos, of course, and get back in the swing of things there. But I appreciate everything that's been said, good or bad, and I look forward to bringing you some more content with more fun and random thoughts, and look forward to seeing you in the stream. But thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.